Hi there, today I want to talk with you about how Europa Universalis Part 5 actually felt to play, what's new, what clicked for me and what didn't, and who I think will enjoy this game. I started out as Holland, well, partly because I'm Dutch, but also because I like compact starts with room to scheme. And within the first hour of playing I noticed a big shift in this game. It isn't so much about map modes or checklists anymore, it's about people. To me it felt that every province you have is full of actual populations with jobs, cultures and fates. They produce, they consume, they move, they get upset when life goes bad. And how you see this in the game is as follows. In my case, when a nasty run of events hit, my workshops didn't get a flat minus 10% tag. No, they actually slowed because fewer people were showing up. And all this has an impact on how the game plays out. Prices moved, pay for the army got tight, and suddenly I was managing a country made of humans, not just numbers. And this change pushed me into a calmer and more thoughtful pace. I stopped chasing borders and started asking, who is my country made of and what do they need of me right now? This also ties straight into the trade. Europa Universalis Part 4 had fixed routes, they are gone. This game runs on regional markets that form and shift. I wasn't just collecting passive bonuses, I could actually steer prices and flows. And one other old habit that's gone is the mana points. Progress comes from literacy, laws, and who's actually running your state. Early on I pushed a law to professionalize the army, and at first my estates were pushing back, but once it passed the whole state felt more capable. Building roads and school, that also matters now. And all this detailed people management also comes into play when launching a war. This is where I learned my first hard lesson. Of course, I picked a fight with Burgundy. So I mobilized half of my countryside and then watched farms and workshops toll. I won the early scraps and that bled out at home. So for my second try I kept a smaller and professional core, protected my supply and hit the logistic instead of the biggest stack. And this all actually works. So battles, they have a center, they have flanks, the supply lines, they are real, and raiding does matter. So maybe it's not flashy, but when a plan comes together like that, you feel like it is actually your own design. Another thing I really loved in this game is the colonization. So you're sending people overseas, which means the home front feels the loss. Push that too hard and your workshops will slow. Mix cultures and religions carelessly and you're in for loads of trouble. So the colonization, it comes with benefits but also with its price. It's not like you get a free income in X years, it's a long project that you have to support and that you have to think about. Also a valid question to ask oneself, how friendly is this game if you're a new one? Because I remember when I first started out with one of the older games, all of the things that you could do and you had to do in the game were really overwhelming. But to me, I think it would be okay if you're new to this game. The tooltips are solid, search helps a lot, and you can automate lots of stuff. And through all this I have to say the AI is serviceable, but it's not always as good as I would have wanted to. It will punish mistakes, but the world sometimes settles into like a sleepy balance or breaks into messy borders that look more random than dramatic or even planned. If you're coming from other grand strategy games, then I think this game is worth your time. Again, the populations, they affect markets. Markets, they feed the army. There are laws and literacy that can change both of these elements. Distance from the crown matters, so holding faraway lands has a real cost. And I think that's the greatest thing about this game. It's that cause and effect that really hooked me in. Okay, how do I actually feel about this game? What's my verdict? I feel Europa Universalis Part 5 is a real step forward. It rebuilds the series around people and logistics instead of points and flat sliders. And most of it, not everything, works. It will also ask for your patience. The tutorial is a bit awkward and the AI could be better. So having said all that, my score for this game would be an 8.5 out of 10. It's maybe a bit high, but that's because the core game actually changes how you think and play. I feel that if you like long-form strategy, where choices ripple through everything, this one is absolutely worth your time. If you want fast conquest and constant fireworks, then my advice would be to skip this game. Well, okay then, this is all from me. I hope you found my review useful. And if you did, and if you're interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing to my channel. It really helps me out a lot. For now, I want to thank you all for hanging out with me and see you in the next one.